stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
Yo, what's up guys? I am back. Here with Sign Up Series 298. And before I start, here is the picture of the field of trucks. Alright everyone, now that you have seen the photo of the field of trucks, let's kick things off with Monster Mutt Rottweiler and the Monster Jam Stunt Truck. And it's gonna be Monster Mutt Rottweiler taking the win. Next up we have the Battle of the Zombies, Red Zombie and Normal Zombie. And it's gonna be the Red Zombie taking the win. Next up we have Velociraptor taking on the Max Contrast Dragon. And it's gonna be Velociraptor taking the win. Next up we have Lumberjack versus Crustacean. And it's gonna be Lumberjack taking the win. Next up we have the Lucas Oil Stabilizer taking on Monster Mutt. And it's gonna be Monster Mutt getting blocked by Stabilizer, therefore Stabilizer is gonna take the win. Next up we have El Toro Loco versus Radical Rescue. And it's gonna be Radical Rescue with the win. Next up we have Soldier Fortune versus the Slicer. And it's gonna be the Slicer taking the upset win. Next up we have the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior taking on Monster Jam Ranger Rescue. And it's gonna be Monster Jam Ranger Rescue with the win. Next up we have Bulldozer versus the World Final 16 Bounty Hunter. And it's gonna be Bounty Hunter taking the win. Next up we have Hurricane Force taking on the phased out Northern Nightmare. And it's gonna be Hurricane Force taking the win. Next up we have King Crunch taking on the Mystery Mutters Max D. And it's gonna be King Crunch with the win. Next up we have a battle between two underwater creatures, Megalodon and Kraken. And the winner's gonna be... Oh, Megalodon was behind, but did he make the comeback win? If we go down straight, just barely Megalodon wins it. Next up we have Avenger versus the Overcharged Blue Thunder. And it's gonna be Avenger with the win. Next up we have Pirate's Curse versus Brodozer. Two very fast trucks on my channel, but Brodozer takes the win. Next up we have the Boneyard Gravedigger versus Stone Crusher. And it's gonna be Great Race, but Stone Crusher indeed wins it. You can see right there that Stone Crusher takes the win with a block. Next up we have Gravedigger versus Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And it's gonna be very close. Very close indeed, but if you go down straight, you can see that Gravedigger takes the win. Next up, we're gonna have Octonator taking on the Golden Maximum Destruction. And it's gonna be Great Race, but Maximum Destruction takes the win. Next up, we have the defending championship truck, Purple Gravedigger the Legend, and he will be taking on the Sign Up Series 296 championship truck, Bakugan Dragonoid Darkest Neo. And the winner's gonna be Gravedigger the Legend. Next up we have Storm Damage versus Axe. And it's gonna be Storm Damage with the win. And the final race of round number 1 is gonna be between Max D and the Mystery Mutters Son of a Digger. And in the end, Max D takes the win. Alright everyone, here we are with round number 2. 20 trucks are remaining. And we are gonna kick things off with Monster Mutt Rottweiler and Red Zombie. And the winner's gonna be Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Next up, we are going to have Velociraptor taking on Lumberjack. And the winner's gonna be Lumberjack taking the W. Next up, we're gonna have the Lucas Oil Stabilizer taking on Radical Rescue. And the winner's gonna be the Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Next up, we have the Slicer versus Monster Jam Ranger Rescue. Two heavyweight trucks, and the Slicer will take the win. Next up, we have the World Final 16 Bounty Hunter taking on Hurricane Force. And it's going to be Hurricane Force with the win. Next up, we have Megalodon versus King Crunch. And the winner's going to be Megalodon with a comeback. Next up, we have Avenger versus Brodozer. And it's going to be Brodozer taking the win. Next up, we have Stone Crusher versus Gravedigger. And it's going to be Stone Crusher with the win. Next up, we have the Purple Gravedigger the Legend versus the Golden Maximum Destruction. And it's really close. They both go off on an angle somewhat. But if we go down straight, just barely, Golden Maximum Destruction is going to take the win. And the final race of round number 2 is going to be between Storm Damage and Max D. And it's going to be Storm Damage with a massive upset win, defeating Max D. Alright guys, here we are with round number 3. 10 trucks remain. We are going to kick things off with Monster Mutt Rottweiler and Lumberjack. And it's going to be Lumberjack with the win. Next up, we have the Slicer taking on the Lucas Oil Stabilizer. And it's going to be the Lucas Oil Stabilizer with the win. Next up, we have Hurricane Force versus Megalodon. And it's going to be good race, but Hurricane Force is going to take the win. Next up, we have Brodozer versus Stone Crusher. And it's going to be Brodozer winning with a block. And the final race of round number 3 is going to be between the Golden Maximum Destruction and Storm Damage. And it's going to be another good race, but Golden Maximum Destruction is going to take the win. Alright guys, here we are with round number 4. 5 trucks remain, but we are going to need a fast loser race to even the odds. And I thought that these trucks had the best run even though they lost. And it's going to be a triple threat race. We have Megalodon versus Stone Crusher versus Storm Damage. Alright, who's it going to be? Megalodon with a huge lead, and Megalodon's going to take the win. Alright guys, here we are with round number 4, the quarterfinals. 6 trucks remain. We are going to kick things off with Lumberjack and the Lucas Oil Stabilizer. And it's going to be the Lucas Oil Stabilizer taking the win. Next up, we have Hurricane Force versus Brodozer. And it's going to be Hurricane Force, I think. As I kick over the ramp by accident, but yes, Hurricane Force with a huge upset win defeats Brodozer. And the final race of round number 4, the quarterfinals, is going to be between Megalodon and the Golden Maximum Destruction. And it's going to be Maximum Destruction taking the win. Alright guys, here we are with the semifinals, but we are going to need one more fast loser race to even things up. And the 3 losers of the previous round are your fast loser competitors for this one. We have Megalodon versus Brodozer versus Lumberjack. And the winner's going to be, they all have a bit of a conglomeration, but Megalodon takes the win. Now we are down to the semifinals of Sign Up Series 298. Let's go over the field of trucks. Inside of the Lucas Oil Stabilizer, we have Monster Jam Planet. Inside of Hurricane Force, we have 7 Curry. Inside of the Golden Maximum Destruction, we have Shock Shooter. And inside of Megalodon, we have Monster Jam Collector 2010. So let's kick things off with the Lucas Oil Stabilizer and Hurricane Force. It's going to be the Lucas Oil Stabilizer taking the win. Who's going to meet Monster Jam Planet in the Lucas Oil Stabilizer in the championship race? Is it going to be Shock Shooter in the Golden Maximum Destruction or Monster Jam Collector 2010 in Megalodon? Now, before this race begins, these 2 trucks are actually rematching from the quarterfinals where Golden Maximum Destruction beat Megalodon and made him go to the fast loser race. So will Maximum Destruction take the win again, or Megalodon get revenge? And it's going to be Maximum Destruction taking the win once again and going to the championship race. Alright guys, here is the championship race of Sign Up Series 298. Inside of the Lucas Oil Stabilizer, we have Monster Jam Planet, who has won a good amount of events before, but Lucas Oil Stabilizer has never won an event before, looking to take its first win right now. But inside of Golden Maximum Destruction, we have Shock Shooter, who I believe is a 1 or a 2-time champion, but that Golden Maximum Destruction also doesn't have any wins. So we're not going to have a new championship driver, but we will have a new championship truck. Let's find out who it is right now by crowning a champion. The winner of Sign Up Series 298 is going to be none other than Shock Shooter in the Golden Maximum Destruction. He has done it. Shock Shooter, congratulations on taking your win on my channel, man. I know you haven't been around for a while, but you're back and you've taken the win. Congratulations, and you got Golden Maximum Destruction, its first win. So props to you, man. Good on you. Nick, dude, Stabilizer was doing great for the entire series, and you just fell short at the end. You did great anyway, man. Just got to make it that one step further, and I know you'll get that win. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Great racing, everyone. Congratulations to Shock Shooter in the Golden Maximum Destruction for taking his win on my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.